Hey everybody, Kirby Hasseman here, looking to deliver you a little bit more marketing joy. These new quick pieces of content are going to be quick hits on both YouTube and on podcast, where I try to provide you a little bit of value to help you elevate your game and elevate your day. And today we want to talk about questions and questions that you use during the sales process. The fact is, the level of questions you ask yourself and that you ask the people you do business with can often really have a big impact on the level that you attain in life. And so I want to talk specifically in this podcast, in this video, about how to ask better questions, and then specifically 10 questions to ask on your next sales call. Now, if you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe on YouTube and podcasts, and I'll keep them coming. So the fact of the matter is, when I got into sales, I was like a lot of people. I'm a pretty extroverted guy. I like to talk. I like to hear the sound of my own voice. And though I think people think, oh, extroverts are really good at sales, sometimes they can get in their own way. Sometimes I certainly got in the way of my own success because I talked too much. Now, what all the sales gurus will tell you is, hey, you just need to ask better questions. And that's true, because you do have one mouth and two ears, and you should, in a sales call, listen twice as much as you talk, if you can. But one of the things that I think are missing is they don't tell you what questions to ask, right? And so what I wanted to do was just fill in the gap here. Now, I'm going to give you 10, but if you want to head to betterbusinessu.com, I've actually got a list of 20. So if you want to, A, see them in writing, and B, if you want to expand upon these questions so you can mix and match depending on your sales calls, feel free to do so. But I want to dive into 10 questions that I think you could use in your next sales call to up your sales game. So, number one, asking your prospect, what is the best thing about your organization? So just like you want to brag about the product or service that you're selling because you're excited about it and you want to tell people about it, this gives your prospect, your customer, the opportunity to do the same. They get to talk about the great work they're doing, the great work that their leaders are doing. And so asking what is the best thing about the organization gives them a chance to brag and open up about the good things going on in their life. Number two, what is the biggest concern you have coming up in the next quarter, the next month, the next year? Getting people to talk about the things that they are concerned about can open up opportunities for you. Now, the one challenge I've seen is that when they give that concern, sometimes we as salespeople feel like we have the solution. And so we want to dive right in and give them that solution right away. I would kind of caution you on that, to pump the brakes and ask a few more questions and just make sure that you're not always diving in with the solution right away. Give them the chance to finish. But asking what is their biggest concern moving into the new quarter, new month, new year can be really powerful to open folks up. Why does your organization do what you do? This goes back to the whole Simon Sinek thing, right? Start with why. This gives your prospect or your customer the opportunity to talk about their purpose, their why, the reason they go to work every day, the reason the organization was started. And I think you get some insights into what they do. And folks are often very willing to talk about that. And you get to develop more things that you can learn from them right there. Number four, why is your company the best? Now, it's a little bit like that first question, right? But why is your company the best not only gets them a chance to brag, but it also gives them a chance to talk about the differentiation between them and their competitors. And so it gives you a chance, let's say you're in the marketing space, gives you a chance to say, okay, how might I be able to help them tell that story? And so asking that question can be a really good one. Number five, I like this one a lot. What is it that most people think about your company that's not completely true? So this can dive into sort of perceptions in their industry, insecurities you might find, and then ways that you can help them set that record straight. So what are some things that most people think about your company that aren't true? And sort of the converse of that is, what are some things people don't know about your organization that you are proud of? And so that might give them a chance to talk about their humanitarian or the work, the things that they do to make their community better. So those are a couple that really get people to open up as well. Hey, how is it that your customers, your donors, the people, your prospects find you? Now, if you are in the sales and marketing space, this can be really valuable because it gives them a chance to talk about the ways they go to market, what has worked, what has not worked. And then you get to learn a little bit about their marketing process there. I love this one. if you had 3 wishes, if I could give you 3 wishes, what would they be? Now, what I like about that is this question is, they might kind of chuckle about it, but I think it does put them in a little bit of a different mindset. The fact of the matter is, if you've been in sales for any amount of time, you know this. The beginning part of a sales process can feel a little adversarial, just because they're sitting on one side, you're sitting on the other, and they might be answering your questions, but they're doing it in a guarded way. By asking this sort of fairy tale question, it sometimes will allow them to have a little bit of fun with this sales process that you both know that you're going through. But the other thing is, it might make them think a little bit differently about the sales process. Gosh, if I could solve this one problem, then that would really make my life easier. So if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? The next 2 they kind of go together. The first one is, what keeps you up at night? This is sort of the negative side. This is the stress side. And then number 9 is, what gets you going in the morning? So what keeps you up at night is the stress. This is the thing that concerns me. This is the problem that I need to solve. Number 9, what gets you going in the morning is their inspiration, their motivation, the thing that you can tap into to help them do what they do better. And I think by understanding both sides of that can really help you be a better salesperson and serve the client better. And number 10, when is your team at their best? When is your team at their best? I think when you ask that question, you get a chance to see when that organization is really humming, this is what they're doing. And it allows you as a salesperson to understand, what are the roadblocks that I can move out of their way so that they can then get to that place where they are operating at their best. Those 10 questions give you insight into what stresses them, what they do well, their purpose, and really gets people to open up and talk a little bit about what they're doing and what could help move them toward their goals. And my bonus question for you is, how can I help you, right? Once you get through all this, I think sometimes we think as the salesperson, we think as the entrepreneur that we have all the solutions for that person because we know our product offering better. But I've found that how can I help you gives them the opportunity to say, well, here is how I envision us working with you. Sometimes they will actually do the close for you if you say, how do you see us working together? How can I help you? And so those are 10, and actually technically 11 questions that I think will help you in your next sales call and your next sales year. So I want to end by saying, how can I help you? Are there any questions you'd like to see me answer? Any topics you'd like to see me tackle as I kind of work on adding this value-added content that I hope will add some value to you? Hey, if you've enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe to the podcast, YouTube, and I'll keep the videos coming. And if you have any questions that I missed here that you think, oh man, these are must-ask questions, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Hey, I'll see you next time.